three general activities, those transactional activities that are kind of the day-to-day putting out the fires and getting things done. They involve day-to-day transactions, record keeping, entering information, tracking information. Oftentimes, this is the most involved activity. It requires the most time of us. Even with advances in technology, there is a lot of this kind of transactional work that needs to be done. Of course, when we talk about the traditional activities, here we're talking about management of different HR functions, such as planning and recruiting, selection, training, compensation, performance management. These functions are often central to the mission of the human resource management department, and therefore are ways that human resources add strategic value to the organization by performing these functions in a manner that is aligned with strategic goals and helps to achieve strategic goals. Of course, HR can also be part of that evolving strategic vision of an organization and can contribute to the organization through its transformation and add that kind of value to the organization. It might be in how HR helps to change the organizational culture or lead organizational change or support strategic realignment that might be involved with mergers and acquisitions or other kinds of changes that occur within the organization. HR departments spend a lot of time on the transactional and the traditional, but uh, oftentimes can't spend much more than 10% of their time on focusing on transformational activities. And through leveraging technology, we may be able to realign how HR is spending its time. These technologies can make for efficiencies in these day-to-day transactions, often as we'll see, allowing for a self-serve for many transactions that required a person-to-person interaction, also by enabling the use of data. There's many different ways that we can reduce the time that is spent on those transactional activities and perhaps make those traditional activities more connected to strategy and provide for more opportunities to find how human capital and the value of humans can contribute to the strategic attainment of the organization's vision. It's the HRIS, the Human Resource Information System. It's a technology system that supports HR processes and functions. And it's meant to store and analyze and distribute the vast amount of information that we now can more efficiently manage with an information system. By using this kind of technology, we can automate HR processes. We can provide data that's more accurate and more timely. And we can generate new forms of information that would have been more difficult to bring together in the past. And so we can add value through this data, both by creating efficiencies, but also by harnessing the power of the information. Now, as with all things, there are advantages and disadvantages to HRIS. Obviously, it's a great advantage to have information at your fingertips, especially being able to get a comprehensive view of what's happening in the organization, especially as in human resource management, we try to support the strategy of the organization. Having that comprehensive picture enables us to understand where the organization is in that context of the environment that it's competing within. Of course, human resource management can be a competitive edge. The cost of employing people can be a significant portion of the cost of the organization of its operations. And so, by being able to find efficiencies in that, we can make the organization more competitive. We can also, through the use of computer technology, improve the information by having it accessible quickly when we need it, just in time. And it can be more accurate because it goes through fewer hands. It is a way for us to enhance the efficiency of the administration of our functions, sometimes by getting that information directly to the employees without having it mediated through a person. And in that sense, it allows us to shift our focus to more of those transformational activities and those activities where we are supporting the strategy of the organization through executing HR functions. By having greater transparency and fewer obstacles to key information, we can enhance the satisfaction of employees and at the same time reduce costs and reduce the amount of time needed to perform some of these transactional functions. Of course, there are real risks too that we have to watch for. And it is not just a cure all. And sometimes technology creates new challenges that didn't exist before. So there are risks in terms of people using the data. And technology cannot be a substitute for human judgment. And oftentimes we need those interactions with people to help them use the data that they need to. There are privacy concerns, and so being able to share information is not always beneficial to our employees. It's only if we're sharing the right information with the right people, and so we don't want to share information that could be used against employees, that could undermine their financial concerns. We want to protect the privacy of critical data. Oftentimes, the systems that we create a sense of rigidity, a lack of flexibility because they have a certain way of getting things done. And so we have to be careful about how we design our information systems and also consider how they should be involved with subsequent changes in the organization. Employees often resist change, and it can be a source of stress, as can technology. If it's not used effectively, there can be actually a reduction in performance. And so, how we manage technology is a key to whether we can realize the potential benefits of making systems more efficient, both in terms of the time that they demand and the financial outlay. But it also how we manage technology has to do with how we manage the risks, the new risks that technology presents, and also the risks that technology will not be executed in the way that it's performing the functions we need to be performed.